something to be said for putting trust in a track record. I'm a Marvel fanboy at heart, and when I heard a Green Lantern movie was being helmed by Martin Campbell, director of Zorro and GoldenEye, I vowed to see it opening day. Even the ass remake it got on Rotten Tomatoes didn't deter me, and aside from needing another 10 minutes of treading on Oa and Parallax not looking like Andros with a bad case of jaundice, I was impressed with the film. Likewise, when I heard a follow-up game was being developed by Double Helix, I knew I had to have that too. Again, critics be damned. I love Silent Hill Homecoming to death. Said it before, and I'll say it again. A monster with an axe for a head, dangling like a ball sack, is creepy no matter how good the controls are. So I wound up purchasing this back in June instead of Infamous 2. To many, that's probably the equivalent of choosing Winnie the Pooh over Deathly Hallows back on July 15th. Those who whined and bitched about there being too little of Oa in the movie will be happy to know that's where this follow-up begins. And right away, Hal Jordan must fend off a Manhunter assault in lieu of Hector Hammond and Parallax. Effort was obviously put into implementing a good difficulty curve, easing you into the game's mechanics, which are oddly familiar. In fact... Jesus fucking Christ, must every PS3 game I review remind me of freaking God of War? I mean, half of Sonic Unleashed was essentially a God of War knockoff. Don't tell me later in the game, Hal also goes golfing like Kratos in Hot Shots Golf 5. Okay, a baseball bat to knock back projectiles. That's acceptable. I mean, when would Hal Jordan ever do something as lame as create a huge golf club? Anyway, doing a shameless ripoff is okay if the developers can do a good enough tracing job, preserving what made the originator so great. And here, Double Helix went above and beyond the Call of Duty. I always wondered how a Green Lantern game could possibly work. How do you base gameplay around a character that can will anything he imagines into existence? God of War's gameplay proved to be the perfect answer, having gameplay centering around stringing together construct attacks into deadly combos. A nice change is that, unlike God of War, to get the experience bonus, you must off Manhunters during a combo chain, rather than automatically getting the bonus the higher the hit count goes. I felt this was an intuitive touch. And the experiment point system reminded me more of Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, unlocking upgrades and new moves for our green-hued superhero. Being as lazy as unskilled as I am, though, I just abuse the hell out of swinging the mace balls around. When it's time to dish out maximum punishment, however, just activate the Ring Surge. Normally using the complex constructs drains ring energy, and only gets refilled gradually when you land basic attacks. With Ring Surge on, it's unlimited, plus attack and defense get boosted. Another way I can tell effort went into doing the GL mythos justice, going to great lengths to incorporate the emotional spectrum. One of the worlds Hal visits is the home of the Zamarons, harnessers of purple love energy. Finding and shattering green meteors ups your ring energy meter, but your health? That's increased by finding blue meteors, reflecting how the proximity of a blue lantern augments a GL's power. And of course, much of the plot is driven by the threat of yellow fear energy, and although there's technically no yellow weakness, some Manhunters use fear energy to keep Hal from using powerful constructs. But the game's not all about mindless beat-em-up action. Again, just like God of War, there are times when using your brain is necessary to get past some obstacles and puzzles and oh come on, how can I take that seriously, toting around a bomb like it's a balloon? Also adding to the variety are segments where Hal puts his piloting skills to use and just flies, blasting everything in sight as he's zipping by obstacles with a flair that would make Sonic green with envy. It's little things like this that truly make you feel like a Green Lantern. Another nice touch is the variety the Manhunters come in. Lots of effort was put into the art and their different designs so we don't get bored smashing Manhunters right and left. So it's such a shame that sometimes the Manhunters come off as complete nincompoops. Such as when you're grappling with one in a quick time combo and its buddies are like, "Duh, were we programmed to handle our comrades getting attacked with a pair of crowbars and a sword? Duh, I don't know." Another drawback to the God of War approach is having little camera control, and in some environments, your view of the action can be easily blocked. In fast-paced action games like this, definitely not kosher. There are other times that make you feel that God of War wasn't 100% perfect as a template for Green Lantern. I mean, I can understand why this game doesn't have Hal flying all the time, but at some points you're just, oh come on, he's a Green Lantern, can't he hover over this shit? Speaking of flight, although the free flying sections are a wild ride that truly reflect what Green Lantern action is all about, they do feel kind of tacked on as an afterthought, like a desperate attempt to not make the game feel entirely like a God of War ripoff. One last complaint is the length. Even Chains of Olympus felt longer than this, and there are only 3 worlds Hal visits: Oa, the Zamoron's planet, and the Manhunter's planet. Plenty of stuff for GL fans to chew on, but with all the yellow fear energy, even with Sinestro not yet falling from grace, I bet some fans were expecting, oh I don't know, Cord! Especially at times like, hello, Mark of the Beast right there, folks. Even with its brevity, I didn't feel cheated in the least for paying full price. Rise of the Manhunters more than makes up for that with excellent graphics, great art design, fluid control, and a decent story. There have been very few comic book games that truly made me feel like a superhero. The original PS2 Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, a handful of X-Men games. Does Green Lantern's first ever video game live up to those standards? In a word, yes. Again, a middle finger salute goes out to all the whiny fanboys. The movie was great, and the video game follow-up was even better. I don't know how Double Helix can make games that, on the surface, only copy a formula, yet feel so fresh and engaging, but I love them for it. Rise of the Manhunters gets a 9 out of 10. Now, if only some other DC characters can get some love. Like Wonder Woman. Still no greenlit movie, that new TV series planned went nowhere. What kind of live-action love has Diana got?
Just stop shooting at things!
He had a gun!
Wow. Let's hope they're not to Green Lantern is less retarded.
It's a graphic novel.
Just so you know, I find your lack of Puritan modesty very refreshing.